Have you noticed something strange? Not just bad, not just scary, but off. Like the world no longer feels real. Wars start without declarations. Truth exists without proof. Lies are spoken without shame and defended without hesitation. Time is moving faster, yet nothing feels accomplished. You scroll endlessly, but your soul feels empty. You are connected to everyone and understood by no one. What if the reason you feel uneasy isn't anxiety? What if it's recognition? Because deep inside, you already know. Something massive is approaching. Not announced on the news, not explained by governments, not understood by most people. The Quran warned us about moments like this. Moments where confusion feels normal. Moments where falsehood wears the mask of order. Moments where people don't reject the truth. They simply stop looking for it. Allah says in Surah Al-Anbiya 21:97, "And the true promise has approached." Approached, not arrived. Meaning the signs appear before people realize what they're facing. And here's the question no one dares to ask. What if the preparation for Dajjal doesn't begin with him, but with you, your fears, your distractions, your silence, your comfort? If you feel like something is wrong but can't explain it, this video is for you. Before watching further, comment, "I feel it," if you sense something is changing. Because once you see the pattern, there is no going back. Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you and good video. The world in 2024 to 2026. Patterns, not coincidences. Look closely at the world right now, not emotionally, but pattern by pattern. What you are witnessing is not random chaos. It is organized direction. Across nations, digital identities are being introduced quietly. Biometric data, faces, fingerprints, voices, are becoming keys to existence. Not to protect you, but to define you. Soon, access to work, travel, money, even speech may depend on compliance, not character. Wars no longer begin with declarations. They are labeled peacekeeping, defensive operations, humanitarian interventions. Bombs fall in the name of stability. Entire populations suffer, while language hides responsibility. Artificial intelligence now replaces human judgment. Algorithms decide what you see, what you believe, who is credible and who is dangerous. Truth is no longer discovered. It is filtered. And perhaps the most dangerous shift of all, truth itself has become relative. Right and wrong are debated. Morality is mocked. What was once shameful is now celebrated. What was once sacred is now called outdated. This is not new. The Quran already showed us this system through Fir'aun. In Surah Al-Qasas, Fir'aun did not rule only with force. He ruled with structure, fear, and dependency. He divided people into classes. He controlled resources, and most dangerously, people obeyed his power over the truth, even when they knew he was wrong. Allah says, Fir'aun claimed, "I only show you what I see." One vision, one narrative, one authority. When falsehood becomes organized, it doesn't look like chaos. It looks like order. And many will follow it, not because they are evil, but because it feels safe. Which global change worries you most right now? Write one word or phrase, because recognizing the pattern is the first step to resisting it. Dajjal in Islam, not a monster, but a system. When many people hear the word Dajjal, they imagine a monster, a single, terrifying figure who appears at the end of time. But Islam teaches something far more unsettling. Dajjal is not only a person, he is a system of deception, a system built on false salvation, a system where truth is manufactured, not discovered, a system that promises security, comfort, and answers, but demands your conscience in return. The Prophet described Dajjal with one eye. And this is not just physical, it represents partial truth. He does not lie about everything. He shows you some truth, enough to convince you. But the other eye is blind. The eye of the soul, the eye of guidance. Dajjal claims control over provision, food, water, wealth, stability. He offers safety to those who follow him and fear to those who resist. This is why his greatest weapon is not violence, it is dependence. The Quran prepares us for this trial in Surah Al-Baqarah, a surah centered on the struggle between guidance and illusion, between submission to Allah and submission to systems that replace Him. Again and again, Allah asks humanity, will you follow truth even when it is unseen? Or will you obey what fits you, protects you, and reassures you? The greatest deception is not a lie. It is a truth missing its soul. A world where facts exist without wisdom, knowledge exists without humility, and power exists without accountability. Do you think deception today comes more from lies or from half-truths? Your answer reveals more than you think. Modern systems that mirror Dajjal's tools. Look around carefully, not at people, at the systems guiding them. Today, economic pressure has replaced chains. You don't need soldiers when that can discipline behavior. People obey not because they agree, but because they fear losing income, access, status, survival. Obedience is no longer forced. It is incentivized. Fear narratives keep societies aligned. Crisis after crisis. Always urgent, always overwhelming. When people are afraid, they stop asking why and focus only on how to stay safe. Screens now replace reflection. Moments of silence feel uncomfortable. Deep thinking feels exhausting. Endless content keeps the mind busy so the soul never speaks. And behind it all, algorithms. They decide what you see, what you don't see, which voices rise, which disappear. Belief is no longer formed by reflection, but by repetition. This is not new. The Quran tells us the story of Qarun in Surah Al-Qasas, a man blessed with unimaginable wealth. People admired him. They wanted what he had. They thought success meant comfort and visibility. But Qarun believed his wealth proved his superiority. He forgot humility. He forgot accountability. And when the system collapsed, it swallowed him whole. The same people who admired him stood silent. Power disappeared. Comfort vanished. And truth remained. When comfort becomes your God, you will defend your prison. You will justify systems that harm you. You will attack those who question them. You will trade conscience for convenience and call it progress. Would you trade freedom for safety if everyone else already did? Be honest. Because that answer decides who you follow when the test becomes real. Psychological preparation. The real fitnah. Before the greatest deception arrives, something else must happen first. Confusion. Not confusion that shocks, but confusion that exhausts. People today are not asleep. They are overstimulated. Endless news, endless opinions, endless crises. The mind is full, yet directionless. The heart is busy, yet empty. Anxiety becomes normal. Restlessness becomes identity. Silence feels uncomfortable. Reflection feels dangerous. This is how spiritual numbness forms. Not by rejecting faith, but by neglecting it. Entertainment overload plays a key role. When life feels heavy, distraction feels merciful. So people escape into screens, stories, noise, pleasure. Not realizing the escape is training them to avoid discomfort. The very discomfort that truth often requires. The Quran gives us a powerful example through Bani Israel in Surah Al-A'raf. They witnessed miracles. They were saved from Fir'aun. They crossed the sea. Yet shortly after, they asked for a visible God. Why? Because unseen truth requires patience. Because belief without constant stimulation feels difficult. Because faith demands trust, and trust demands stillness. They did not deny Allah. They simply wanted something easier, something they could see, something they could control. And this is the real fitnah. Not disbelief, but impatience with the unseen. Dajjal does not arrive to believers asleep. He arrives when they are distracted, when their attention is fragmented, when their values are negotiable, when their faith exists, but no longer leads. What distracts people the most today? Fear, pleasure, or survival? Choose carefully, because whatever distracts you is what controls you. Why the Quran warns through stories, not dates. Many people ask the wrong question. When will it happen? What year? What exact moment? But the Quran rarely gives dates. Instead, it gives stories. Because Allah is not training us to predict events. He is training us to recognize patterns. Human behavior repeats. Power repeats. Arrogance repeats. Denial repeats. Only the setting changes. The story of Nuh alayhi salam shows us mockery of warnings. People laughed at him. They called him extreme. They said, "We see no danger," until the danger surrounded them. The people of Ad and Thamud represent arrogance of power, advanced civilizations, engineering, strength. They believed nothing could stop them. They mistook capability for invincibility. Then there is Musa versus Fir'aun, truth versus illusion. Fir'aun did not deny Allah openly at first. He competed with truth. He used spectacle. He used fear. He used control. And the people had a choice. Follow the miracle or follow the system. This is why the Quran warns through stories. Because the test is never what happens. It is how people respond. Allah does not warn us of events. He warns us of ourselves. Will we mock? Will we feel untouchable? Will we obey power over truth? Or will we recognize the pattern in time? Which Quranic story feels most alive today? Your answer may reveal where we are in the cycle. Why many believe 2026 is a turning point. It's important to be clear about one thing. This is not a declaration of prophecy fulfillment. Islam warns us against fixing exact dates. No one knows the unseen except Allah. So why do so many people feel that 2026 represents a turning point? Because of convergence. Not one sign, not one event, but many powerful trends colliding at the same time. Technology has reached maturity. Artificial intelligence no longer assists. It decides. Surveillance no longer observes. It predicts. Systems are no longer tools. They are environments people live inside. Global language is changing. Words like coordination, compliance, safety, standardization are replacing ideas of sovereignty, conscience, and moral independence. At the same time, moral confusion is peaking. Truth is debated, identity is fragmented, certainty is mocked, faith is tolerated, as long as it does not interfere. And above all, events are accelerating, crises overlap, recovery never completes. People feel like they are constantly reacting, never choosing. This is why certain years feel heavier than others. Not because of destiny, but because readiness is being tested. The Quran reminds us, and Allah is the best of planners. Surah Al-Anfal. Human systems plan control. Allah plans truth to prevail, often when people least expect it. The danger is not the year. It is being unprepared when the test comes. Because the test does not announce itself. It feels normal, reasonable, necessary. Do you think humanity is becoming wiser or more programmable? Answer honestly. Because the future belongs to those who can still choose. How? Believers prepare without fear. Islam does not teach panic. It teaches preparation with calm certainty. When trials approach, believers are not told to run. They are told to root themselves deeper. The first tool is knowledge, ilm. Not endless information, but understanding grounded in the Quran and Sunnah. Knowledge sharpens perception. It allows you to recognize deception without being consumed by it. The second is sincerity, ikhlas. In times of fitnah, actions lose value when they are driven by fear, attention, or validation. Sincerity anchors the heart to Allah alone, not to crowds, trends, or outcomes. Then comes patience, sabr. Not passive waiting, but disciplined restraint. The ability to hold your values when compromise is rewarded and conviction is costly. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ emphasized Surah Al-Kahf. It is not a coincidence. It contains stories of youth resisting a corrupt system, knowledge tested by humility, wealth tested by gratitude, power tested by justice. Surah Al-Kahf trains the believer to navigate deception without losing faith. Islam balances fear and hope. Fear that keeps us alert. Hope that keeps us steady. Awareness without paranoia. Trust without blindness. The believer does not panic. He prepares quietly. He strengthens his relationship with Allah. He cleans his intentions. He limits distractions. And he remembers that guidance has always been a minority path. How do you personally protect your faith today? Your answer may inspire someone who is struggling silently. Final warning and call to action. If you've reached this point, take a breath. This message was never meant to frighten you. Fear paralyzes. Truth clarifies. This video was not about predicting the future. It was about recognizing the present. The signs are not hidden in secret codes. They are visible in behavior, in systems, in values, in what people accept without question. Every generation is tested. Not all tests come with fire and floods. Some come with comfort. Some come with convenience. Some come wrapped in promises of safety and progress. And the most dangerous test is the one that feels reasonable. Remember, Dajjal is not only awaited, he's prepared for. Prepared by distraction. Prepared by dependence. Prepared by people who slowly trade truth for ease and conviction for approval. But awareness changes everything. Once you see the pattern, you are no longer an easy target. You don't need to panic. You don't need to isolate. You don't need to fear tomorrow. You need clarity, sincerity, and connection to Allah. If this message disturbed you, it was meant to wake you, not scare you. Because awakening is uncomfortable, but remaining unaware is far more dangerous. Comment aware. If you watched until the end and truly understood the message. And remember, the light has always been enough for those willing to look.